I have a serious addiction to torturing myself. Got the dual head siphon Nano Sluice running. Less than a gallon of water. And we're gonna test it with the Double Black Diamond from Gold Nugget Sales. I've definitely been wanting to see what this half-gram bag can do to this Nano Sluice because this thing has been pretty good so far. The results are pretty impressive. Haven't done a lot of measured tests outside of 1 or 2 bags, but this right here, this is a torture test. I've added a few drops of surfactant. This will run really quickly. It is a fairly small bag of pay dirt. I've had a couple suggestions from folks is like, hey, you know, do you think the amount of time that you let it run will affect the gold loss? Will it get better or worse? I think the longer you let anything run, the worse recovery will get. There's the migration of gold from here to here, and then that just kind of helps it go to the next stage. Really hard to tell on something like this without doing several runs and testing that time theory. But I think with anything, the longer you run it, you're going to lose more gold. So you'll have less concentrates, but possibly less gold. So here we go. I'm going to rip this thing open and dump it in. Here you go. There are a little bit larger rocks than I'd like to see, but I didn't classify it at all. You can kind of see some of those jumbling up in there. And I might have to give it a flick or two to unclog it if it's clogged, but just gonna let it run here for a minute. And see what happens. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't really feel like there's actually anything stuck in there. It's just really heavy material. So there's your time study. It's just going to take as long as it takes to get everything moved through here. Slowly but surely. I can see it kind of pulling in down through there. It is continuing to exchange. So it's working. It's just really slow. Which is, I mean, all the other materials that we ran have been pretty dang fast. This is really getting dense in here though. And there's only a tiny layer over in the second catchment. Very turbulent over there. Pretty interesting. Yeah, there's definitely some chunky stuff that I don't like to see in that one. But yeah, I can get my stick pretty far down in there and I can see it going into the siphon. And it is moving that material now. You can kind of see the level finally starting to drop in here. So a little bit of persuasion never hurt. That gold doesn't want to get recovered. That's too bad. We're gonna get that gold out, baby. Look at this loading up now. Check out the difference in density in the cups. There's hardly anything packed into that bottom catchment at all. It's exchanging very well. Right there you can kind of tell how much material is coming through from the first to the second, but it is not moving at all on that first cup. So don't see much gold, which is not too surprising. Not too surprising with this stuff. It's just gold dust, so. Yeah, these sands, these tungsten sands are so heavy, they're coning up here, and the stuff up on the side usually sloughs in without any problems into these cups, but the sand is so heavy and dense it does not want to even leave here. Yeah, doing great. We're gonna be able to use our 250 milliliter graduated cylinder to hold all the material that doesn't naturally just come up out of it, which is pretty cool. I thought I would have to change it out once. Seeing some of those larger rocks starting to settle out in the second one finally, and it's actually starting to build up too. This is almost done. From the feed throat. There it goes. Just helping it along a little bit right there. Just agitating it a little bit so it's there it goes. You can kind of see that. Now it's just doing it automatically. first cup is pretty well solid. There's a defined line of gray and black. And then that second one, like I was saying, is starting to finally load up. And that's all the material. I'll let it run out here for a couple more minutes. I'm gonna cut the camera and I'll get the cups taken out and we'll go from there. Obviously, we should start panning them separately. I don't know which one I'm gonna do first, the first or second one. First, second, but yeah, we'll have to see. And a slight side note, as you can see, the exchange from the first cup to the second cup has pretty much stopped. There's not a whole lot of stuff coming out of the system now. So that just goes to tell you, even though it's turbulent in there, it's not really taking much material out after it settles in. Kind of interesting. Okay, I'm gonna pull the cups and get them in a pan. Got the wash plant loaded up. We're gonna haul it back to storage. Got cup number 1. Got a bunch of gold in there, nice little chunky piece. Cup number 2, I saw some gold. Definitely saw some gold. And it was just the dust, like uber dust. And I'm betting there's gold in there. So I'm gonna haul the wash plant back up into its storage spot and we'll catch up with you. That is as clean as I'm going to get the first cup. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm happy with it. There's all the tailings. I'll put those back in the blue pan and pan the second cup. I'll let this dry and I'll weigh it up separately. But I want to save the tailings. So we'll go ahead and do that. On a side note, it's kind of funny, the sluice can catch finer gold than I can pan, so that kind of tells you something right there. I think I did fairly good though. We'll have to see in the weight. There's the gold from the second cup, and it's all very uniform in size. It's the finest of the fine. I'm gonna dry it out separate and weigh it up separately. And then we'll combine the weights and see what we got from the dual head siphon Nano Sluice. This is the first catchment. It's faring pretty good. There's a little bit of moisture in a couple pieces of those gold, so that'll dry out to about 490. That's the first cup, and the second cup, 0.055. Let's add it all together. 0.550. Obviously, I missed some gold pouring into the cup, but we got the half gram and some more, which Gold Nugget Sales typically has about that much extra in a bag. So, I think it did a pretty dang good job. I know it missed gold in the tailings, but I don't think it's enough to really worry about, which is kind of surprising to me. I thought it was going to do a little bit worse. Patrons, you guys are going to have to find out what's in the tailing because one of you guys are going to get this stuff. Thanks for watching.